class. So we were discussing from Canto 3, Chapter 8. Last week, briefly at the end, we just touched upon the first 8 verses of Chapter 8, wherein after hearing all the queries by from Vidura, Maitreya Muni says that in order to answer all your queries, I need to speak to you Srimad Bhagavatam. That Bhagavatam was originally spoken by Lord Sankarsana to 4 Kumaras, who, with a desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam all the way from Janaloka following the path of they came down below Patala Loka and met Lord Sankarsana, who was actually holding the entire Bhumandala upon his one of his hoods. So that Lord, opening his eyes, though he was completely immersed in meditating on Lord's pastimes, opening his eyes, he spoke the entire Bhagavatam to 4 Kumaras. And from the 4 Kumaras, Sanat Kumara later on spoke the same Bhagavatam to Sankhya Muni. And Sankhya Muni spoke Bhagavatam to Brahaspati and Parashara. And eventually that Parashara spoke the Bhagavatam to Maitreya Rishi and Vyasa. And Maitreya says that whatever Bhagavatam I have heard from my spiritual master Parashara Muni, who become expert at speaking Puranas by the blessings of Pulasya, I will speak to you the same Bhagavatam. So saying that, now Maitreya is going to speak that Bhagavatam which he had heard from his Guru. That was Parashara. So fine. So now we'll go start with verse number 10 onwards. Udaplutam Vishwam Udaplutam Vishwamidam Tadasit Yan Yanidraya Militadrinnim Dinyamilyat Namilayat Ahindra Talpe Adishayana Eka Kritakshana Swatmarato Niriha. Hare Krishna, someone can read the translation.
At that time, when the three At that time, when the three worlds were submerged in water, Garbhodaksha Vishnu was alone lying on his bedstead. The great snake Ananta, and although he appeared to be in slumber in his own internal potency, free from the actions of the external energy, his eyes were not completely closed.
So at that time, so when the three worlds were submerged in the water, at that time indicates when. So here the connection from the 6th chapter. If you all remember 6th chapter even now also, because in between we have discussed the entire 7th chapter, which is kind of detour from the discussion. In between there is a kind of questioning and answering was there. So where Karnadaksha Vishnu created 24 elements, and by entering into those 24 elements, he created unlimited Brahmandas, Hiranyandas, and entering into each and every universe as Garbhodakasha Vishnu. Uh, he manifested the universal form. That universal form appeared in the form of Deva Shakti, that is Jiva Shakti, in the form of Devatas, humans, and Rakshasas and Rakshas, and then Karma Shakti in the form of 10 pranas, and then Atma Shakti in the form of Adhyatma, Adibhuta, and Adidaiva, where it explained about the manifestation of the 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, and 4 antakaranas, along with their uh, gross senses, and also the devatas who are supervising the activities of all the senses. So that is being indicated in the chapter 6. Now from there on, okay, Garbhodaksha Vishnu entered into the universe, and then uh, entered into the universe, and then kind of uh, you are not able to see the screen, Hare Krishna. Now you are able to see the screen. Devotees?
Well, I'm not able to
I
see
am
the
able
screen.
to see the screen.
Others
Yes,
able to see the
Prabhuji.
screen? Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
दिख रहा है, दिख रहा है.
Okay, okay. Prajaradhika Mataji, you can disconnect and connect back again, maybe.
Okay, I'll do that, Prabhuji.
So from there the connection is given to this chapter. So then that Garbhodaksha Vishnu, what he was doing in the universe after manifesting the universal form. So in relation to the very first day when Brahma appeared, Brahma was born from the lotus flower that was being spoken in the second canto, 9th chapter. What did Vishnu do after this incident, after Garbhodaksha Vishnu, what he did? That is explained very well in the 10th chapter of the second canto. But the third canto, it talks about what Garbhodaksha Vishnu did at the end of the yesterday's night of Brahma. And what did he do in the early in the morning of today? After 50 years of the Brahma's lifetime, after sleeping for the one whole night of Brahma, what did he do? That is being described in the third canto, chapter 8. But during the very first day, what did Garbhodaksha Vishnu do? That was mentioned in the second canto, 10th chapter. So this thing we will understand later in a couple of verses later. Is how this description is talking about today. Today early in the morning when the night ended. So that is being described here. Udaplutam vishwamidam sadasid. Yen nidraya milita drun namilayat. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu with closed eyes, he was in Yoga Nidra. But before going to sleep, he kind of accepted Uda Aplutam Vishwamidam. So this universe, here it refers to, this Vidam Vishwam refers to the 14 planetary systems along all the variety of living entities that are living in this universe. They all have entered into the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And where is Garbhodaksha Vishnu situated? Ahindra Talpe. Ahi Indra Talpe. Ahi means the snake. Indra means the king of all snakes. That is Adishesha. Talpa, on the bed. On the bed made up of Adishesha, the snake bed, Garbhodaksha Vishnu was sleeping. And how he is sleeping? Niriha. There was no desire in him in relation to material world. He is indifferent to the activities in the material world because it is a time for annihilation. So when he went into sleep, all the living entities in the entire universe, starting from the small grass all the way up to Lord Brahma, they all have entered into the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And they were all sleeping for the entire night of Brahma. And during this time, during the night, Swa Atma Rato, though Garbhodaksha Vishnu is in deep sleep and deep slumber in Yoga Nidra, but he was internally enjoying with his internal potency. But in relation to external potency, he is Niriha. He is indifferent to her. He is indifferent to the desires of the living entities who want to perform many activities and enjoy more and more. He has told all of them to enter in his body and take rest for the entire night of Brahma, which lasts for 1,000 Chaturyugas. So that is being indicated here. So then, that is whatever we just mentioned, that is all described in the next two verses. So anta sharire arpitabhuta sukshmam कालात्मिकं शक्तिमुदीरयान्नम् उवास तस्मिन् सलिले पदे स्वे यथा नलो दारुनिरुद्धवीर्या. Hare Krishna, someone can read the translation?
Just like the strength of fire within fuel wood, the Lord remained within the water of dissolution. Submerging all the living entities in their subtle bodies, he lays in the self-invigorated energy called Kala.
Sa anta sharire arpita bhuta sukshmam. Sa refers to that Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Anta sharire arpita bhuta sukshmam. having given up their respective gross bodies along with their Anta Sharira, that is, subtle bodies, all the living entities have offered themselves to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That means they entered into the body of or into the abdomen of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, more specifically. Kalatmikam Shakti Mudvirayantam, being forced by the time energy, because it was the time for Brahma's night. So there was annihilation of the 14 planetary systems by the will of the Supreme Lord, because it was the night of Brahma. So all that has been created by Brahma will be destroyed. So having destroyed everything, all the living entities bereft of their gross bodies, they entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Uvasa tasmin shalile padesve. But where that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who was sleeping within the water, Sve Pade, in his own abode, which is situated within the Garbhodaka ocean below Patala Loka. So it is not being seen by people in general. It is not being observed regularly by living entities in the upper planetary systems, because Yatanalo Dharni Ruddha Virya. The Lord is situated within Garbhodaka ocean, just like fire is situated within the wood. Generally, by normal procedure, we can't see the fire in the wood unless until the fire is given to the wood. The wood is already kind of put into the fire, put in contact with the fire. Then when the wood gets fire, the fire which is there inside the wood will come out. It will manifest for prolonged period of time. Same way, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu under normal condition is situated below Patala Loka in the Garbhodaka ocean. He cannot be seen normally, just like fire cannot be seen in the wood. But by the performance of bhakti, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu can be visible to a devotee. Just like when you rub two woods together, then the fire might come out of the wood. So something like that. Ruddha Virya, by his spiritual potency, he remains within the water of Garbhodaka ocean without being touched by it. So somebody want to speak? Your voice is not clear. Hare Krishna, your voice is not clear.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, there's one confusion that you mentioned that all the living entities leave apart their gross body as well as subtle body and enter into the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu at the time.
No, I did not say that. They will leave behind their gross bodies along with their subtle bodies. Anta Sharira. Arpita Bhuta Sukshma. They offer themselves to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
So if the subtle body is also left, that means then the jiva should get the liberation now, because we say that liberation is a state.
Mataji, I'm not saying they have left subtle body. I'm saying giving up gross bodies along with their subtle bodies, they entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Achha, along with the subtle bodies. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not
thank
along
you.
with is not connected to the first sentence. It is second
Okay,
sentence.
okay. Fine, fine. Thank you.
Someone else wanted to say something?
Prabhuji, I couldn't hear you in some between a few sentences, no? I don't know whether my side there's an issue, but I couldn't hear you clearly at all.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're Prabhuji, but in between you couldn't be heard at all.
Okay. Now you are able to follow?
Yeah, I'm able to hear clearly.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll go ahead. So, at the previous evening, when it was time for annihilation, being burned by the fire emitted from the mouth of Shesh, the gross bodies of all the living entities were burnt. So, along with the subtle bodies, all the jivas up to Brahma, they have entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who was situated below Patala Loka, within the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, just like fire is situated within the wood. So how long Garbhodakshaya Vishnu was sleeping there and all the living entities were there inside the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? That is mentioned in this verse. Chaturyuganam cha sahasramapsu स्वपन् स्वयोदीरितया स्वशक्त्या कालाकेया साधितकर्मतन्त्रो लोकानपीतान् ददृशे स्वदेहा.
The Lord lay down for 4,000 yuga cycles in his internal potency, and by his external energy, he appeared to be sleeping within the water. When the living entities were coming out for further development of their futile activities, actuated by the energy called Kala Shakti, he saw his transcendental body as bluish.
Chatur-yuganam cha sahasram apsu. Apsu, within that water, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu slept for 1000 Chatur Yugas. 1000 Divya Yugas, which is the night of Brahma. The day of Brahma also has 1000 Chatur Yugas. Night also has 1000 Chatur Yugas. Within the day there are 14 Manvantaras. Each Manvantara will last for 71 Chatur Yugas, something like that. So that is being indicated here. Prajaradhika Mataji, you are able to see now and hear me now?
I can just hear you, Prabhu. I'm not able to see the screen, so I rejoined twice, but still it's okay. Now I got the screen.
You should be able to get.
Yeah. Now I'm able to see. Thank you.
Chatur Yuganam cha sahasram apsu. Swapan. Swapan means he was in Yoga Nidra. Swayo diriyata swa shaktya. So though from external point of view he was in Yoga Nidra, he was sleeping in deep slumber, but Lord is continuously engaged in multiple pastimes with his internal energy. Swa shaktya. Swaya udirataya swashaktya. Kalakyasadita karma tantro lokan apitan dadrishe swadeha. So when this time ended, the time of 1000 Chaturyugas has ended. Now it is time to manifest the activities of all the jivas. So understanding that now it is time for recreation, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu glanced upon his own abdomen. Swadeha, dadrishe swadeha. Here deha indicates his own body, his own abdomen, within which all the living entities were taking rest for the entire night of Brahma, for the 1000 Chaturyugas. So now it is time for their reactivate their activities. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu looked into his own abdomen, so that all the living entities can start their own activities. तस्यार्थ सूक्ष्माभिनिविष्टदृष्टेर् अन्तर्गतोऽर्थो रजसा तनीयम् गुणेन कालानुगतेन विद्धा तुष्यं तदा विद्यतनाभिदेशात्.
The subtle subject matter of creation, on which the Lord's attention was fixed, was agitated by the material mode of passion, and thus the subtle form of creation pierced through his abdomen.
So now one interesting thing. So this verse says that not only the living entities along with their subtle bodies have entered into the universe, entered into the abdomen of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, even all the 14 planetary systems which are made out of the 24 elements, earth, water, fire, ether, and their properties, and 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, and 4 antakaranas, all these 24 elements themselves are formed in the form of manifest in the form of the 14 lokas. All of them are also entered. Antargato artha. Here artha refers to all the 24 elements. Sasyartha sukshmabhi nivishta drishter. Being witnessed by the glance of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Sukshma Abhinivishta. Tasya Artha Sukshma Abhinivishta. The 24 elements in their subtle form which have entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Antargatortho Rajasa Taniyam. They are influenced by the creative potency of the Supreme Lord, that is mode of passion. Rajasa Taniyam. Gunena Kalanu Gatena Vidya. So, Kala Anugatena, in due course of time, being lashed by Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, all these 24 elements which were there within the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu in a subtle form, Taniyan means form, Susham Tada Vidyata, Tada Abhidyata Nabi Deshat. They have come out of the Nabi or the navel of Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From the place of Nabi, basically from the Nabi, all these 24 elements have appeared in the form of a lotus bird. The 24 elements which manifest in the form of 14 planetary systems at the end of the previous day have entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu in a subtle form, and now they have appeared out of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's body in the form of a lotus bird. Sushyan tada abhidyata. Abhidyata means they come out. Nabi deshas, from the place of Lord's Nabi. Sapadmakosha sahasoda dishtat kalena karma pratibodhanena parochisha chalilam vishalam vidyotayan arkaivatmayoni.
Piercing through the sum total form of the fruitive activity of the living entities, took the shape of the bud of a lotus flower generated from the personality of Vishnu, and by his supreme will it illuminated everything like the sun and dried up the vast waters of devastation.
So here see. Sa Padma Kosha Sahasoda Tishtat. Sahasa Udata Ishtat. Udat Ishtat. Uda means water, Tishtat means situated. That lotus bird which came out of the water. Basically, the Sa refers to the 24 elements which are there in the subtle form, which came out of the Nabi portion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. They came out of the water. They appeared from the water in the form of a lotus bird. Padma Kosha, in the form of a lotus bird. Kalena karma pratibodhanena, being influenced by Kala in order to manifest the karmas of all the living entities. By Karma Shakti, it came out in the form of a lotus bird. And that lotus bird, okay, it is mentioned that Swaroshisha tat salilam vishalam vidyotanam araka ivatma yoni. Iva atma yoni. Having appeared directly from the transcendental body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, or having Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu as their base, as their source, this lotus bird which came out of the water began to emit lot of light. Swaroshisha tat shalilam vishalam. On top of the water, above water, it appeared like a brightened light. Vidyotamanam, arka, like a sun. It began to emit light all over the upper portion of the universe, like the sun. That means this lotus had, since it had connection with the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, it had the capacity to give brightness within the second upper portion of the universe. Because from the time of annihilation, it was entirely dark. So now, as soon as this lotus manifested, again, the upper part of the universe became bright. The lower portion is filled with Garbhodaka ocean. The upper part is now brightened by the lotus flower. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I didn't understand the meaning of this purport's first line, that piercing through the sum total form of the fruitive activity of the living entities took the shape of the bud of the flower. Like, means whatever that means, it has a relation to the previous verse. I tried to understand that the subtle form of creation pierced through the abdomen, and it came out through the fruitive activity of the living entities. How we understand this? Means I very much confused.
Forget about all those things. What I am trying to say, the 24 elements which had entered in the previous night into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, now they came out by the Rajasa. Rajasa means the Kriya Shakti. That Kriya Shakti which will manifest eventually the activities of all the living entities. First, it pushes out the 24 elements in the form of a lotus bird, and that lotus bird is shining brightly because it has direct connection with Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It is giving light to the upper portion of the universe.
So the lotus is made up of 24 elements.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
तल्लोकपद्मं सौयेव विष्णु प्राविविश सर्वगुणा
सर्वगुणावभासम् तस्मिन् स्वयं वेदमयो विधाता
तल्लोकपद्मं सौयेव विष्णु प्राविविश सर्वगुणावभासम् तस्मिन् स्वयं वेदमयो विधाता स्वयं भुवं यं स्म वदन्ति सोऽभूत्. Hare Krishna. Someone read the translation.
Into that universal lotus flower, Lord Vishnu personally entered as the super soul. And when it was thus impregnated with all the modes of material nature, the personality of Vedic wisdom, whom we call the self-born, was generated.
Yeah. So this is one of the interesting verse. Talloka Padmam Sau Eva Vishnu Pravivishas Sarva Gunava Bhasam. So Talloka Padmam Sarva Gunava Bhasam. This is the continuation. Talloka Padmam means that lotus flower which appeared from the water. From external point of view, it appeared from the water. Actually, it appeared from the Nabi of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who is situated within the water of Garbhodak ocean. So, what is the nature of that lotus flower? Sarva Gunava Bhasam, which has the capacity to manifest the 14 planetary systems which are meant for the enjoyment of all the living entities. Sarva Guna Avabhasam, which has all the qualities of giving enjoyment and misery for all the variety of living entities who are going to manifest in the material world. Okay, this lotus flower has the capacity to manifest 14 planetary systems which are meant for enjoyment and suffering for the living entities like Sarga and Naraka, etc. But where are the living entities? So it says that Sau Eva Vishnu Pravi Vishat. And now the same Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands himself as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, taking all the living entities along with him, enters into this lotus as its Paramatma. The Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expanding himself as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, taking all the living entities along with him, who are there taking rest within the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu along with their subtle bodies, entered into this lotus, which is there above the water. Tasmin Swayam Vedamayo Vidata Swayam Bhuvam Yamsma Vadanti Sobhut. So Abhut. Then Tasmin, on top of that lotus flower, Abhut appeared. Who? Vidata, the Brahma, the secondary creator of the universe, who is called Swayambhuvam, the self-born, who has no visible parentage. Instead, he suddenly appeared on top of the lotus flower. That's why it's called Swayambhuvam. And Swayambhuva Manu is generally called as Swayambhuvam. This A is long for Swayambhuva Manu. And for Brahma, it is just Swayambhuvam. Pandu, Pandavas, like that. Long A will indicate their children, their son, like that. Here, Swayambhuvam is self-born Brahma, and he is also called Vidata, the secondary creator. He is also called as Vedamaya. He is made up of a personality made up of Vedas. So, Emsma Vadanti Sobhut. And he immediately appeared on top of the lotus. 8:30.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
yes, Mataji.
You continue, Prabhu.
Okay. So, this is what it is indicated here. As soon as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expanding himself as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, taking all the living entities along with him, enters into this lotus, on top of that lotus, Lord Brahma appears, who is called as Vidata, who is also called as Swayambhuva, who is also called as Vedamaya, is a personality made up of Vedas. So this is what happened. First 24 elements appeared from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel. He appeared in the form of lotus flower, the lotus, entire lotus. And now Garbhodaksha Vishnu expands himself as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, taking all the living entities along with their subtle bodies, entered into this lotus. And then Lord Brahma appeared on top of that lotus flower.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
So the previous night, while all the living entities were entering, that time this Kshirodaksha Vishnu was not there, no?
Even Kshirodaksha Vishnu also enters into Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Okay.
Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu referring to Kshirodaksha Vishnu, all of them enter into the form of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. They were all taking rest within the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Now they one by one they manifest. First Kshirodaksha Vishnu appeared, and then Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Lord Brahma. Then through Brahma, Lord Shiva appears in the 12th chapter.
Okay.
So,
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
correct. So the lotus flower is called as Vairaja, the grass universal form from which the 14 planetary systems will manifest eventually. In the 10th chapter, we'll read that how Brahma divide that lotus flower into 14 planetary systems. The 14 planetary systems known as Bhuloka, Borloka, Sargaloka, etc. They all appear from the lotus flower. The lotus flower is called grass universal form. And all the living entities along with their subtle bodies are all the living entities put together who are accompanying Kshirodaksha Vishnu and enter into the lotus flower. They are called as Hiranyagarbha. And the four-headed Brahma who appeared on top of this lotus flower is called as Vidata, the secondary creator. So something like that. The three things have manifested here. Matlab, the lotus flower, which is called Viraja, all the living entities, they are called Hiranyagarbha, and Garbhodaksha Brahma, who is called Vidata, the four-headed Brahma. The three of them have appeared here. That is what Prabhupada mentions in the purport. So then Brahma appeared on top of the lotus. Then what did he do? Did he start immediately the creation, secondary creation? So that is being mentioned in the entire chapter. Sasyam cha shambho ruhakarnikayam avastito lokamapashyamana parikramam yomni vivritta netras chatvari lebe nudisham mukhani.
Brahma,
Yeah, carry on.
Brahma, born out of the lotus flower, could not see the world, although he was situated in the world. He therefore circumambulated all of the space, and while moving his eyes in all directions, he achieved 4 heads in terms of the 4 directions.
Yeah. Sasyamsa cha ambo ruhakarnikayam. Sasyamsa refers to that Brahma who appeared on top of that lotus flower, which appeared from the water. Avasito lokam apashyamana. He could not see the 14 planetary systems which were there in the previous day. Matlab, he had some remembrance of the previous day. But previously there are 14 planetary systems in the universe. Now where are they? He is kind of searching for them. Parikramam yomne vivritta netras. He wanted to see them. Where are they? He wanted to look into 4 directions simultaneously. As he desired to look into 4 directions simultaneously, like a person does parikrama around, he ended up moving his head around in order to facilitate Lord Brahma's vision in 4 directions simultaneously. Chatvari lebe anudisham mukhani. The 4 heads appeared in 4 directions, so that Brahma could see the entire space in 4 directions. So, with a desire to see the 4 directions, the 14 planetary systems, he attained 4 heads. That is being indicated here in this verse. Tasmadyuganta swashanavakpurna jalormichakrat salilad upashrita kanja mulokatantvam natma namadda vidadadi deva.
Lord Brahma, situated in that lotus, could not perfectly understand the creation, the lotus or himself. At the end of the millennium, the air of devastation began to move the water and the lotus in great circular waves.
So, Tasmad Yuganta Sashanava Gurna Jalormi Chakrat Salalad Viruddham. So, Upashrita Kanjamu Loka Tattvam. Upashrita Kanjam refers to the lotus flower. Having situated within himself on top of the lotus flower, he could not see the 14 planet systems, but he saw some water at the base of the lotus flower, which is actually Jalormi Chakra Sallad Viruddham. It is actually very turbulent because of the devastating wind. This water was actually there are so many tides, there are so much agitation in the water from the time of previous devastation, from the time of previous evening. The whole night it was like kind of turbulent. Even now also Brahmaji sees the turbulent water. Natmana Maddavi Addavi Dadadi Deva. So he could not understand anything more than that. He could not understand where are the 14 planet systems. He could not understand where are all the living entities. He simply went to rest and he came out, and he don't know where they are, etc. So then,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, that means for Brahma was doing this observation for the whole of the millennium, means till the
Which observation?
Means he was trying to see where the living entities are or where the planets are, and then the water of devastation started moving the lotus. That's what it is.
Not that. The water is there from the time of the previous night, but now what he could see is only the water, nothing else. The devastation water, which is actually highly turbulent, that's what he could see. He wanted to see the living entities, he wanted to see the 14 planet system. They are not there. But what he saw is only the water. And he does not know where they have gone, where the 14 planet systems have gone, where the living entities have gone. That he could not understand.
No, what I am not understanding, Prabhuji, is when just now we saw that the Brahma was born on the top of the lotus, and
Yes.
then in the previous chapters, in the previous canto, also we have learned that he did tapashcharya after his birth for 1,000 celestial years, and then he means Bhagwan Vishnu prasanna ho gaye, and all those things we saw. But here what we are seeing, that I'm confused, that here it is saying that he did an observation where the planetary system have gone, and so he had the whole memory of the past whatever creation, and then same, is it the same Brahma who has become again Brahma, and then he's seeing, and then when the water of devastation started? So I'm totally confused.
See, just now I mentioned about it. So when Brahma appeared, what all happened was mentioned in the second canto, 9th chapter and 10th chapter. Now what we are discussing is today morning what happened. Whatever Brahma created yesterday morning, that has been destroyed yesterday evening. And all the living entities entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. All the 14 planet systems also entered into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. They were taking rest for the whole night. And today early in the morning, all the 24 elements, they appeared in the form of lotus flower.
Okay,
And
so this is Brahma, whatever devastation happens, again when Brahma gets up, he's seeing this. That is the scene, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
What we are discussing here is today what happened. Today means today for Lord Brahma. Brahma now is 50 years old. His 51st year, first month, first day is going on now.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, others could able to follow? Is it clear? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
We are simply discussing what is happening today, what happened today morning according to Brahma's time scale. Before the beginning of Swayambhu Manvantara, what happened? Brahma was sleeping for the entire night, which lasted for 1000 Chaturyugas, and lotus appeared. On top of the lotus, Brahma appeared. That is as good as he woke up from the sleep. And then he wanted to see the planets which were there yesterday. and he also wanted to see the living entities who were performing various activities yesterday. Now he could not see them. What he could see is only the water, and he does not know where they have gone, where the people have gone. So now the next verses are continuing. Kayeshayosau ahamabja prushta etat kuto vabjamanayadvapsu ananyedapsu asti yadasta dihakinchanaitat adishtitam yatra satanubhavyam.
Lord Brahma, situated in that lotus, could not perfectly understand the creation, the lotus or himself. At the end of the millennium, the air of devastation began to move the water, lotus in great circular way.
So he is asking a couple of questions. Ka eshayo asau aham abja prushta. Who am I situated on top of this lotus flower? Abja prushta means, abja means that lotus flower. And who am I being situated on top of this lotus flower? Etat kuto vabjam ananyad apsu asti. And what is this lotus flower? Where did it come from? Who am I? And from where this lotus flower came? Etat kuto vabjam ananyad apsu. What is the source of this lotus flower? Astihi adasta dihakinchanaidat adishtitam. So I can understand that this lotus flower is coming out of the water and it is stable. That means there must be something within the water giving strength to this lotus flower. So there is something, there is someone who is there beneath the water or within the water giving strength to this lotus flower. Yatra satanu bhavyam. This much I can understand. I don't know who am I. I don't know where this lotus flower came about, but I can understand this much. This lotus is coming out of the water means within the water there must be something giving support to this lotus flower. Because in the previous verse it is mentioned that virudam, salilad virudam. Salilad virudam means strong rooted. The bushes are called as viruda type of plants. In the next chapter, maybe in the 10th chapter, I think we are going to discuss about different variety of plants that are being created by Brahma. One variety of plants are called as viruda. Viruda means deep rooted or strong rooted. All the variety of bushes are called as virudam or strong rooted. Similarly, though the water is turbulent, jalormi chakram, but this lotus flower is firmly fixed because its roots are very strong. So understanding that, Brahma is telling that, so there must be someone, Adhishritam, at the base of this lotus, giving strong support to it. So understanding this, Lord Brahma wanted to examine who is there below this lotus flower. Who is there at the root of this lotus flower. Now his search begins. Saitamudiksha tadabjanala Nadibiran tadabjanala Nadi birantar jalama vivesha Narvagatastad karanala nala Nabim vichinvam tada avindataja.
Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma, thus contemplating, entered the water through the channel of the stem of the lotus. But in spite of entering the stem and going nearer to the navel of Vishnu, he could not trace out the root.
Yeah, simple. He tried to understand who is there beneath the lotus giving strength to this lotus. Saitam Uddiksha Tadajja Nala. And passing through the tubes of that lotus stem. Having entered into the flower, then entered into the tube, the lotus tube of the lotus stem. Nadibir Antar Jalam Avishesha. Nadibir means the tubes, the lotus tubes of the lotus stem. He came almost into the Garbhodaka ocean. Narva Gatastat Karanala Nala Nabim. He came all the way very close to the Nabi of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, which in one Tabid Avinda Taja. He could not understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of this lotus flower. Avindata Aja. Aja means the unborn Supreme Lord, who is the source of this lotus flower, could not be seen, could not be understood by Brahma. So Brahma was searching where from this lotus flower is appeared and who is at the base of this lotus flower. that he was trying on his own endeavor. So taking this as a reference, Prabhupada says that by dint of one's personal endeavor, one may go nearer to the Lord, but without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. Such understanding of the Lord is possible only by devotional service as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktya mam avijanati yavan yachasmi tattvataha. The Supreme Lord only can be understood in tattvataha by bhakti. That is being indicated here. Though Brahma went all the way very close to the Nabi of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, but he could not understand Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Same way we can extend to one more point. By dint of one's personal endeavor, one may go nearer to the moon. But without the mercy of moon god, one cannot reach or one cannot step onto the moon planet. So like that also we can take it. So one can go nearer to them, but one cannot enter. One cannot see them. Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, sorry, I'm interrupting you again and again, but means this is very confusing to understand. Like Brahmaji is considered as the his form is made up of pure intelligence, and when he gets up on the 51st day from the sleep, like in the previous thing we have seen that he had done tapashcharya and he has known that the Kamal has sprouted from the Nabi of Vishnu, and he even saw the darshan of the Vishnu. So after he gets up from the sleep in his 51st day, like after getting up from the sleep, we don't forget everything. So how, like again he's searching for
See, there are two things. It is not 51st day. 51st year, first month, first day. And currently Brahma is 51st year is going on. The second thing is it is just like when we die, when we again enter into the womb of mother, again take birth. When we are born, we completely forget everything. We need some time to manifest our intelligence and our activities, etc., etc. At least we need 3-4 years time. So something like that we can also understand about Brahma. Though Brahma had complete knowledge, he is supposed to remember everything in the previous day, but he barely, like he barely remembers that. Okay, पहले भी 14 planet systems था, living entities था, इतना ही याद है. He does not remember more than that. So how we get more remembrance will be revealed in the next chapter. We will understand about all that. So this is how it is, and we cannot ask question why Lord Brahma forgets and all. Forgets. Just like we also forget everything after death. When we get into a new birth, we again have to go to school and learn ABCD, everything from the beginning. So though bhakti is there, I mean in our eternal quota, but the performance of bhakti does not be possible from the day one. In order to take up our bhakti, we also need to wait for 4-5 years when we manifest our physical bodily limbs are good enough to practice. Then we start manifesting those things. Certainly there is some time in between. For Brahma also like that, there is some time to come back to the natural position.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, this when Brahma is traveling within the lotus world, lotus stem, does it mean that physically he is traveling through different planetary systems and then reaching the water?
No. For your understanding, as of now there are no planetary systems. There is only lotus stem and lotus flower.
Okay.
This is they were there, we could have seen.
This is actual lotus stem or lotus flower, or is it like it is a sort of a metaphor?
No, it is not metaphor. It is actual lotus flower and lotus stem made up of 24 material elements: earth, water, fire, ether, all the way up to Ahankara Mahatattva. It is actual. If the earth on which we are standing is actual earth, then this lotus is also actual.
Huge lotus.
If the earth on which we are standing is metaphor, then this lotus is also metaphor.
Got it. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, this is my understanding. So, what happens with this lotus and all we'll discuss in the 10th chapter. That entire details are there in the 10th chapter. But this sentence I was very happy to see this. By dint of one's personal endeavor, like Brahma is endeavoring here, one may go nearer the Lord. He went all the way up to the Nabi. But without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. That means without the Lord's mercy, one cannot understand the Lord. One cannot see the Lord. Similarly, by dint of one's personal endeavor, with the help of rockets and scientific technology, one may go nearer to the moon. But without the mercy of moon god, without Chandra's mercy, one cannot reach moon. One cannot step on the moon. This is one-to-one correlation we can see. Tamasi apare viduratma sargam vichinvado bhus sumaham trinemi yo deva bhajam bhayameryamana parikshinotaayurajasya heti.
O Vidura, while searching in that way about his existence, Brahma reached his ultimate time, which is the eternal wheel in the hand of Vishnu, and which generates fear in the mind of the living entity like the fear of death.
Yeah. So how long did Brahma search? Brahma searched for Deha Bhajam, for the embodied living entities, as per the conversation that took place between Maitreya and Vidura, which is happening just after the departure of Lord Krishna. That means at the very beginning of Kali Yuga. Yo Deha Bhajam Bhayamirayana Parikshinoti Ayur Ajasya Hetir. Deha Bhajam Ayur. So what is the lifespan of a person who is living in a human body in the Kali Yuga? That much time has been exhausted while Brahma was searching for the source of the lotus flower. Bhayam Irayana. That time, Parikshinoti, as exhausted, that time whose nature is to create fear in the heart of human being who is actually living in the body in the Kali Yuga, whose lifespan is of 100 years. So that is being indicated. The time which creates fear in all of us, and that time has passed to the extent of the lifespan of a human being in the Kali Yuga. That is equal to 100 human years. For that many years, Lord Brahma searched for the source of the lotus flower.
Where does it say Kali Yuga?
Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentioned in his purport.
Okay.
But the way I am telling is, it is in relation to the conversation who is speaking. Who is speaking to whom? Maitreya is speaking to Kali Yuga at the beginning of Kali Yuga. So according to their conversation, you have to take it. Deha Bhajam Ayur. The Ayu of the living and embodied soul.
Okay.
Tato nivritto pratilabdha kama swadishnamasadya punassa deva chanirjita shvasa nivritta chitto nasidadaruda samadhi yoga.
Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling all objectives, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord.
So, Tato Nivritto, having given up his endeavor to understand who is the source of the lotus, what is there beneath the lotus stem, Apratilabdha Kama. So, that was his desire, but he could not fulfill his desire. He could not understand what is there. So, having given up that endeavor, Swadishna Masadya Punasadeva, that Lord Brahma again came back to the top of the lotus flower. Then, having come there, what did he do? Shanair Jitashvasa Nivritta Chitto. Gradually, he started in Ashtanga meditation pose. Jitashvasa, he began to control his breath, and Nivritta Chitta, and began to control his subtle senses, mind, intelligence, ahankara, and chetana. Nasidat Aruda Samadhi Yoga, and eventually came to the state of Samadhi. Having performed Yoga Mishra Bhakti, as it is mentioned in the first canto, if you remember, 7th chapter, Bhakti Yogena Manasi, Samyak Pranite Amale, Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayam Cha Tatapashrayam. So, having instructed by Narada Muni, Vyasdeva, Saturn yoga posture, completely meditating on the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, that is basically called as Yoga Mishra Bhakti. They are doing Bhakti, but taking the shelter of Ashtanga Yoga. Just like Dhruva Maharaj also performed Yoga Mishra Bhakti process, something like that. So here Lord Brahma also gradually controlled his senses, controlled his breath, controlled his internal senses like Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana, and eventually came to the state of Samadhi. By taking shelter of Arudha Samadhi, he came to the state of Samadhi by taking shelter of Yoga. What yoga? Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Bhakti Yoga along with Ashtanga Yoga. So that is what Brahmaji is doing. So now he came to Samadhi state. Kalena soja purushayushabhi pravrutta yogena viruddha bodha swayam tadanta hridayeva dhatam yudayeva bhatam apashyata pashyatayanna purvam.
At the end of Brahma's 100 years, when his meditation was complete, he developed the required knowledge, and as a result, he could see in his heart the Supreme within himself, whom he could not see before with the greatest endeavor.
Yeah. So previously Lord Brahma endeavored for 100 human years. He could not understand what is there below the lotus stem, who is giving shelter to this lotus, etc. etc. Kalena soja, soja means sa aja, that unborn Brahma, that Swayambhuva Brahma, Purushayu Shabi. He performed this austerities, this Ashtanga Bhakti mixed with Ashtanga Yoga for one Purushayusha, that is equal to another 100 years. Previously, he endeavored to find out the source of the lotus for 100 years. Having given up that, now he performed austerities, that Ashtanga Yoga along with Bhakti for one more 100 years. Pravrutta Yogena Viruddha Bodha. So, as a result of that performance, Swayam Sadantar Hridaye Avabhatam. That Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who was not seen by Brahma, Pravrutta Yogena Viruddha Bodha, who could not be understood by his Pravrutta Yogena. That is Pravrutti Yoga. That means that endeavor which Brahma performed with a desire to fulfill, with an endeavor to fulfill, with an intention to fulfill his desire to see the source of that lotus, that was called Pravrutti Yoga. So Viruddha Bodha. So because though he endeavored for 100 human years, he could not understand what the source of this lotus after the endeavor of 100 years. But performing Ashtanga Yoga along with Bhakti for one more 100 years, the same time, Swayam Tadanta Hrudaye Avabhatam. That Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who could not be seen previously, became visible in the heart of Brahma. Because Lord Brahma reached to the state of Samadhi. So in that state of Samadhi, within the core of his own heart, he could see the wonderful form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Apashyata apashyata yenna purvam, whom he could not see previously, now he could see within his heart. First he saw antar hridaya avadatam, and then eventually he saw externally also. Apashyata means having given his darshan within the heart of Brahma, he also gave his darshan outside in front of Lord Brahma. This is same as that of Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj performed austerities for 6 months, first that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu appeared within the heart of Dhruva Maharaj. Then immediately that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu came out of the heart and he appeared outside. So when Dhruva Maharaj lost the sight of Lord in the heart, he opened his eyes. Then he could see Kshirodakshaya Vishnu standing in front of him. The same way here, for Lord Brahma, he appeared within his heart first, then he appeared outside, whom Lord Brahma worked hard to see for 100 human years previously. So that endeavor is called Pravrutya Yoga. So, but now it is what it is called Nivrutta Chitto. This is called Nivrutta Yoga. With the control of the senses, prana, shvasa, and also the internal senses, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana. Now we could see the Supreme Lord. So that is being mentioned here. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the entire purport, the focus is, though one may endeavor to see the Supreme Lord by one's own endeavor, but one cannot see. only by bhakti one will be able to have the darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Brahma had performed these austerities, I mean this bhakti along with Ashtanga Yoga, he could have the darshan of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu within his heart first and then outside. So in that way, Prabhupada mentioned that on that basis, Brahma meditated for 100 years before he could understand the supreme cause of all causes, and then he wrote the Brahma Samhita, which is approved and recognized by Lord Chaitanya, and in which he sang Govinda Madhi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. One has to wait for the mercy of the Lord before one can either render service unto him or know him as he is. Actually, I don't know that they are going to paint here. He told that you take class here. ऐसे बोल के चले गए. इनका नाम क्या है? हाँ सचिन. उन्होंने ओपन करके गया था. मुझे पता नहीं था इधर पेंट करने वाला था. वो लोग उधर देर बहुत जोर से पेंट कर रहा था. कहाँ जाऊँ मैं? कहाँ जाऊँ? तो जगह बताओ मैं जाने के लिए. अभी खत्म हो गया. टाइम कितना? अभी 7:18 में. मैं 7:30 को मैं खाली करता हूँ. ब्रेक थोड़ी देर के बाद ब्रेक देता हूँ. मुझे जाने के लिए जगह नहीं. कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में कोई तो बैठे ऑलरेडी. हाँ 6 बजे पहले गया था. कोई बैठा हुआ. जगह नहीं इधर जाने के लिए. 7:30 को भी मुझे पता नहीं कहाँ जाने का. अभी जगह 6 बजे उधर कोई तो था इसलिए मैं गया नहीं उधर. अभी किधर जाऊँ? एंड करने वाले हो? मैं ब्रेक लेने वाला. कुछ करना है तब करूँगा. जगह किधर है? किधर जाऊँ? अभी थोड़ा 7:30 तो कर सकते हैं. अभी मुझे मेरा प्रश्न है जगह कहाँ जाऊँ मैं? वो तो बराबर है लेकिन अभी इमीडिएटली तो मैं आंसर नहीं दे पाऊंगा. वे क्या कर रहे? 7:30 करने वाले हैं. नहीं करता हूँ. आपको ये जरूरत है तो करना पड़ेगा. हाँ बिकॉज क्या अभी इसमें नहीं वो करने वाला था. हाँ sorry, small interruption. Okay. You could follow this. I mean, we'll discuss about this Brahma Samhita and other things will come in the future verses. What is that? Basically, this is the point. One has to wait for the mercy of the Lord before one can either render service unto him or know him as he is. So basically, here one has to wait means Lord Brahma had performed bhakti along with yoga for 100 human years. That is kind of the amount of bhakti one has to render. The same thing Prabhupada kind of indicates to us that we have to render some bhakti in order to understand about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, we cannot understand him just like that. So, in that way. So, that is indicated here. Hare Krishna, all of you are able to follow this? What is being indicated here?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, we'll just see this last verse and then we will continue the class from the next week. We'll continue the presentations after the break. So, this is what was the darshan that Lord Brahma had. That is the subject matter of the remaining chapter. So, first verse talks about the darshan of Ananta Shesha, and the next verse onwards it talks about the darshan of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So, this verse talks about the bed of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the darshan of Ananta Shesha, on which Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is sleeping. Mrunala Gaura Yatashesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Shayanam Fanata Patra Yutamurdna Ratna Jubir Hatadvanta Yuganta Toye.
Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of a Sheshanaga, on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of the jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanaga, and that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions.
So from here onward, the entire chapter will understand everything with respect to so many analogies. So many analogies kind of comparisons are mentioned. Mrunala Gaurayata Shesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Shayanam. Ekam Purusham Shayanam. The one Purusha known as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he was sleeping on something. What is that something? Panata Patrayuta Murdna Ratna. So Ayuta Murdna. So upon which he was sleeping has Ayuta Murdna, 10,000 heads. Ayuta means 10,000. Murdna means heads. So here, what kind of heads they are? Fana. They are the heads of snake hoods. So this snake on which Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu was sleeping has 10,000 hoods. And all these hoods have mukut. On top of each and every hood, there is one mukut. That mukut appears to be like a atapatra, like an umbrella. Okay. And in this umbrella like hood, in this umbrella like mukut, which is there on top of the hood of Anantashesh, which who has 10,000 hoods, Ratna Dubir. There is one Ratna. There is one beautiful money which is located within this mukut, which is there on top of the hood of Anantashesh, and it is brightly shining. Dubir. Hatat Dvanta Yuganta Toye. And whatever darkness that was there around, that has been dissipated completely, destroyed completely by the brightness coming from this beautiful jewel. And this is about one jewel which is there in one mukut, which is there on top of one hood. And like that, Adishesha will have 10,000 hoods, Ayuta Murdna. So all these 10,000 hoods combined together, appearing like Mrunala Gaurayata Shesha Bhoga Paryanka, the white water lilies. Just like the white water lilies appear from the ocean in a water lake, if you see in the season, rainy season, etc., we can see so many water lilies coming out of the water. Like that, all these hoods of Anantashesha, they are appearing like one lotus white lily, one white lily appearing out of water of Garbhodaka ocean. And they are appearing white because on top of the hood there is one mukut. In the mukut there is a jewel that is actually brightly shining. So this is the analogy with which this is being spoken. So this is the darshan of the bed of Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the description of Anantashesh, who has thousands of hoods, thousands of bright hoods, which has the bright jewels, which appears to be like the water lilies coming out of the water. So we'll stop here. We'll take a small break and we'll continue with the presentations of the two devotees. Any queries till now before closing the class? Hare Krishna.
One question here.
Yes, Prabhu.
We have heard earlier that once Brahma comes out of the lotus and he searches, and then he hears the voice tapa, and then he gets into actually tapasya and gets to know the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. He heard the voice when first time when he was born. 50 years back he heard the voice, but today morning he did not hear the voice. He simply himself understood that he needed to do tapasya, so he is doing tapasya.
Okay.
So that was second kind of 9 chapters was mentioned. That was the first day of Brahma. Now it is 51st year, first month and first day.
Okay.
So here it is not mentioned.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, it also mentioned that here, I think 22nd or 21st shloka, that Brahma did tapasya for his 100 years. So I just wanted, means it is his 100 years or human 100 years? Because his 100 years.
No. It is human 100 years. Purushayubi. Purushayubi means the human 100 years in Kali Yuga.
Okay. Thank you.
Not Brahma's 100 years. Brahma's 100 years हो तो उनका मृत्यु हो जाएगा ना, वो कहाँ बचेगा?
That's what I was confused, that at that time if he realizes, what is the use then?
So no confusion.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, then if there are no queries from anyone else, so we'll take a small break, then we'll join back with our presentations. Hare Krishna, and both Prem Nandini Mataji and then Prabhuji, you are there to give presentation? Sundar Leela Prabhu?
He's there, Prabhu.
Is
Yes,
there
Prabhuji.
okay, fine. So please get ready with your presentations and other things. We'll join after a couple of minutes after the break.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Who's doing first, Prabhu?